Good morning, fifth grade. Let's go ahead and talk about multiplying three-digit numbers or multi-digit numbers today. Today we're going to be looking at Module 303 in math. So let's go ahead and do a quick warm-up, okay? Go ahead and set a timer for 1 minute. I want you to pause the screen and I want you to see how many of these can you solve in 1 minute. Go ahead and pause the recording, stop the timer for 1 minute, and here we go. All right, let's go ahead and check ourselves and see how we did, gang. I know that 7 times 1 is 7. I know 8 times 5 is 40. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 7 is 14. 9 times 5 is 45. 6 times 3 is 18. 4 times 7 is 28. And 8 times 3 is 24. 10 times 4 is 40. 4 times 4 is 16. 9 times 8 is 72, and 8 times 8 is 64. 3 times 7 is 21. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 9 is 81, and 3 times 9 is going to be 27. Did you notice how fast I was able to do all those problems mentally in my brain? That is my expectation for you as my fifth graders by the end of the year, that you will be able to multiply your numbers that quickly in your brain without having to even think about it. You just know. So next year in sixth grade, when you start to work on more advanced concepts, you're able to do them without me. So let's go ahead and take a look. How could you find the product of 2,000 times 56? What could you do? So let's think about some strategies we've talked about in the past few weeks. I notice that the number 2,000 is like saying that is 2 times 10 to the third power, because this is going over 3 different math place values. So I know that I could really do 56 times that number of 2 and then add in the 3 place values, because it is really saying it's 10 to the third. So if I were to do 2,000 times 56, I know 56 doubled is 112 with 3 zeros behind it is really saying that I would get 112,000. Notice Mrs. MG did that in her head without even solving it here. So we got this, gang. So today, I can fluently multiply 2-digit whole numbers using the standard algorithm. So let's talk math strategies we've already put in our math toolkit at this point in fifth grade. We've already put in our math toolkit the area model of multiplication. We've already put in partial products. You already know how to multiply using base 10 blocks because you did that in third grade and you did it in fourth grade. So today we're adding in the standard algorithm. So today is our 4th math tool in the math toolkit. Remember, we're using the specific tool that Mrs. MG has said that we are working on. So that means all your problems today, I'm expecting you to solve them how? With the standard algorithm. Okay, so you might be thinking like, wait a minute, what is the standard algorithm? So let's talk about that. So this says Abby loves sunflowers. She planted 29 rows of 400 sunflowers in each row. And gang, I'm just going to double check. We're doing Nearpod 303. This is sounding really familiar, so I want to make sure that I'm pulling up the right one because we know that Mrs. MG's brain has had a lot on it lately. So we're going to go into 5th grade 303 to make sure I'm doing the right one, because the last thing I want to do is make a recording teaching you guys that we are doing the wrong one when we aren't. So here we go. Yep, we are in the right one. Just double checking because that's how my brain is working today. Okay, so some different things that we could do on this one. Okay, so I've done my first read. Abby loves sunflowers. She planted 29 rows of 400 sunflowers in each row. How many sunflowers did Abby plant in each row? So I just did my first read. I'm just reading through to read the problem. I'm not even looking at information that I need to focus on. I'm just reading to see what it's all about. Now I'm going to go in, and 5th grade, I'm going to read it a second time, but this time, as I'm reading it, I'm going to focus on what's information that the author probably wants me to focus on to solve this. So I know that she planted 29 rows of 400 sunflowers in each row. The question I'm solving for is how many flowers did Abby plant in total? So something that I know for us in Kansas is that the sunflower is our state flower. I also know that there are lots of different sunflower fields in the fall that people sometimes go and take pictures of. So is this a realistic question and a realistic problem, especially if you're on a farm and you're going to go and harvest sunflowers and sunflower seeds for different things, even like sunflower butter and different items? Yes, this is something that a individual who maybe has a sunflower farm or does some sort of agricultural farming would probably be doing. So they have 29 rows of 400 sunflowers. So I know I'm really going to do 29 times 400. I am not doing the area model on this one, and I'm not doing multiplying by powers of 10 on this one. I have to use what? The standard algorithm today. So I'm not going to set it up going horizontally. I'm going to set up my problem vertically today. So I'm going to put 400 over the number 29, and then I'm going to erase my 29 right here. Okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and draw this line here, and now I'm going to multiply each of these numbers by the place value. So I'm going to take 9 times my 0 in the ones, 9 times my 0 in the tens, then I'm going to take 9 times my 4 and the hundreds place value. So 9 times 0 is 0. 9 times 0 groups of 10 is 0 groups of 10, so I'm going to put a 0 in the tens place value holder. 9 times 400. Well, that's going to give me 36 groups of 100. 36 groups of 100 is really the number 3600 or 3600. Now I'm going to move over to my 2. So I'm going to do 2 times that 0 in the ones place value. But first I have to put that place value holder right here. Okay? So I'm going to say 2 times 0, okay, is 0. But I'm multiplying by my tens place value, which means I'm starting here in the tens place value. So I'm going to kind of change my color for multiplying. So I'm going to go 2 times 0 is 0. So again, I started in the tens place value. Then I'm going to take 2 times the 0 in the tens place value. So this is saying 20 times no groups of 10. Well, that's still no groups. Okay? Then I'm doing 20, or my 2 right here, because this is 29. So 20 times 400. Well, I know 2 times 4 is 8. Okay? But if I have 20 groups of 400, I'm going to get the number 8,000. Now I can go ahead and align my numbers and add them up. I'm going to start in the ones place value. So 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. 600 plus 0 is 600. And then 3,000 plus 8,000 is 11,000. So I'm going to go ahead and bring down that 11,000. Remember that we put a comma after every third place value in math. So I'm going to start at the ones place value. I'm going to go 0, 10, 100, comma. So I have 11,600. Okay, 5th grade. Let's try another one. Okay, let's try the standard algorithm to find the product of 300 times 63. What I want you to do is I want you to set this problem up, vertically align your numbers to multiply. I want you to try it, and then I want you to restart the recording to check yourself to see how did you do when you compared it against how I did. All right, 5th grade, here we go. So I'm going to take 300, and then I'm going to put my 63 underneath. I'm going to go ahead and align my place values, and I'm going to start at my ones place value. So 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times a group of 10. 0 groups of 10 is 0, so I'm going to put a 0 here. 3 times a group of 300, so 3 groups of 300 is 900. So I'm going to put a 9 in the hundreds place value. Now I'm going to move down to my 6 and the tens column. So I'm going to start here, which means I put a place value holder in the ones place value. So 6 groups, so 60 groups of nothing is 0. 60 groups of nothing again is a 0. 60 groups of 300. Well, I know 6 times 3 is 18. So 60 groups of 300 is 18,000. When I go ahead and align my numbers, okay, and I go 0, 0, bring down my 900, bring down my 8 in the thousands place value, bring down my 10 in the 10,000s place value. I'm going to start at the end to go over 3 digits. So I have 1, 2, 3, comma. So I got 18,900. Whoop. So hopefully you got the same as me. All right, gang. Let's go ahead and take a look at a story problem. Okay. So this says, holy moly, this is a really big one. This says Noah has been practicing his multiplication. He is ready to multiply even larger numbers. Find the product using the standard algorithm. Okay, so now this is when the panic might happen. You might be like, oh my gosh, Mrs. MG, this is over to the 10,000s place value, and there is a digit in each one of those place values. And I'm multiplying it by a 2-digit number. Oof. But don't worry, because we have a growth mindset. So we know that we can do hard things, even though sometimes it can seem overwhelming. That's okay. So we're going to go ahead and take this one piece at a time. We're going to start with aligning our place values. I'm going to align it how? Vertically. So I'm going to take 4,700,128. I'm going to multiply that by 63. Okay, we can do this. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause the recording and I want you to attempt this problem. Remember, you are attempting this. That means even if it seems overwhelming, you are still going to try using strategies that you know to solve this problem. When you're ready to check yourself, you're going to press play and see how I solve this problem. Okay? Here we go. I'm going to take 3 times 8. I know 3 times 8 is 24, so I'm going to drop my 4. I'm going to regroup that group of 2. I know 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 more gives me 8. But really, this is saying 3 groups of 20 is 60, plus 2 more groups of 10 gives me 80. All right? Now I'm going to take 3 groups of 100. 3 groups of 100 is 300. I know 3 groups of 7,000. Well, I know 3 times 7 is 21. So I'm going to leave the 1 in the thousands place value. I'm going to regroup that group of 20,000. So then 3 groups of 40,000, or 3 times 4 is 12, okay, plus another 2 more groups of 10, okay. So I'm going to get 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 more is 14. So I got 4, 8, 3, 1, 4. This is a 1, okay. All right, and I went off the screen, didn't I? Oofda. So now I'm going to move over to my other place value. So I have 6. So, did I put my place value holder there? Nope, need to put that place value holder in. Here we go. 6 times 8 is 48. I'm going to drop that 8, and I'm going to erase what I had carried from the previous one so I don't accidentally add the wrong number, because that can happen in math. Sometimes we see those little numbers we've carried in our place values and we get confused and we re-add them. I'm also going to change the color I'm using for the tens place value. So I know 6 times 8 is 48. I'm going to change that to an 8, regroup that 4. I know 6 groups of 20, so is going to be 120. So then 6 times 2 is 12, plus 4 more is going to give me 16. So that's saying I have 16 groups of 10, I'm going to bring down my 6. I'm going to regroup that group of 10, okay? I know 6 times 100 is 600, but this is saying 60 times 100, which is actually the number 6,000, which is why I'm going to put a 6 there. Oh, but look, I carried a group of 100, so that's going to be really adding on another 1. So that's a group of 1,000 now because I multiplied by 60. So 6 times 1 is 6 plus 1 more is 7. So I get 7 in that thousands place value. So 60 times 7,000 is going to be 42,000. I'm going to drop that 2, regroup that 4, and then 6 times 4. So I know 6 times 4 is 42. So in case you were like, what? I've dropped the 2, carried the 4. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 4 more is 28. I've kind of run out of space, so I'm going to put my 8 and then maybe 2. Okay? When I align my place values and add them, I'm going to get 4. 8 and 8 is 16. I'm going to bring down the 6. I'm going to regroup. Okay? Then I'm going to take 3 times 6 is 9, plus 4 and more is 10. I'm going to carry 7 plus 1 more is 8, plus 1 more is 9. And then I have 4 plus 2 more is 8. Bring down 8 plus 1 is 9. Bring down my 2. I know that I'm going to go a comma after every third place value. So 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3. My crayon keeps trying to drag. Your final answer, gang, is going to be, okay, 4, 6, 0. Let's see, I'm going to double check. 8, that was a 9. 9, okay. And then I got 9 and then 6. And then 9 and 2. I'm just going to kind of double check my math one more time because all my numbers got wonky. So 4, 16 carried. 3 plus 3 is 9, 0. Yep. Carried that 10. Yep. Got my 9. 4 and 2 is 6. 1 and 9. Yep. Okay. Third place value 3. Boom. Okay. 2,969,064. Whoa. That was a lot. So let's head over to Buzz and let's take a look at your assignment right now. You're going to go into Math Module 5. You're going to go into your 5th grade Math module. Okay. You're going to go down into Lesson 303 on multi-digit numbers. Okay, so let's go into that one. Okay. So I want you to notice, okay, we have our 3 already weekly lessons we're doing. Your recording will be right here in the lesson. Okay, you got this. So this says, hey, read the lesson and complete the activities. So the recording for today will be right here. Okay, you're going to go through the module. You're going to try these problems. When you get to the end, you're going to see today's assignment. Right here, you have multi-digit numbers. Okay, so you are going to do the standard algorithm with these. You need to show your work. Yes, show your work, which means I need to see what your brain is doing here on paper, just like you saw what my brain was doing in my recording. You can use an extra piece of paper if you need to. Don't write super duper tiny because Mrs. MG is over 40 now and her eyes have to squint when you're super tiny. So make sure you are also doing your 2 story problems right here. You got this, okay? So 5th grade, good luck. I love you, and I'll see you soon.